I'm Anna Laurel. Thank you for joining us. The mother of a 7-year-old boy hit and killed by an accused drunk driver chased the car that dragged her son, screaming for the man behind the wheel to stop. That's just one thing Fresno police revealed today in a report on the car accident that killed Donovan Maldonado and seriously hurt his dad and little sister. KMPH News reporter Ashley Ritchie shows us why police say the man responsible for Donovan's death drove drunk not once, but twice that tragic day. There has not been an accident involving a pedestrian or bicyclist at that crosswalk where the Maldonados were hit in at least 5 years. Lauren LeBeau is scheduled to be in court Thursday. He faces up to 26 years in prison. A little North Valley dog is safe in a shelter tonight after getting a collar removed that was embedded in her neck. The little Chihuahua mix was found running loose near Pacific Drive in North Madera, a collar cutting deeply into her neck. Here she is now at the Madera County Animal Shelter. Workers named her Missy. You can see the little bandage where the collar was. Officials would love to know who the owner was, but they're also hoping someone will adopt Missy. If you have a good home for her, please call the Madera County Animal Shelter at 559-675-7891. Authorities believe her collar was too tight for at least 6 months. If you have any idea who may have done this to this dog, you can also call the shelter at 675-7891. A child molester on the loose is now behind bars thanks to the good looks of a local law enforcement officer. Investigators say this guy is a wanted child molester. A stove started a fire that burned a motorhome to the ground in southeast Fresno today. The fire spread to the motorhome near North and Chestnut. Now, the rest of us continue to bake in this relentless heat wave, but is there any relief in sight?
We can only hope. Here's Chief Meteorologist for an air conditioner in this heat.
I had to replace my AC down in Arizona last summer.
How much?
So, very
terrible.
Thousands, yeah. And they charge you a little extra when it's hot like this because they don't want to get up on the roof.
Right, and they know how many people are out there, same demand.
Yeah. Video shot at a Colorado race captures a hair-raising crash. Check it out.
Oh, geez.
Wow, you can hear the car hit and the crowd scream as the car explodes in a shower of parts. Race car driver Jeremy Foley and his co-driver plunged off the cliff at the Pikes Peak International Hill Climb in Colorado Sunday. The car flips more than a dozen times. Incredibly, amazingly, the driver and his partner walked away from the crash with just minor injuries.
It is amazing to think that anybody was actually inside that and still survived.
Yeah, they were tweeting about it, saying it was just it was nothing major, but they call that curve the Devil's Playground because just last year in that exact turn another driver did pretty much the same thing.
You can see why it's got that name.
And I'm Anna Laurel. Thank you for joining us. Assembly Bill 109 was signed into law in April of last year. Since then, law enforcement agencies and regular folks question whether shipping state prison inmates to local jails is the answer to reducing the state's budget deficit. KMPH News reporter Eric Rosales introduces us to a father who says the price of putting criminals back on the street to balance a budget is too great.
This weekend, a 20-year-old Merced woman was near Fuentes only spent 23 days before he was let out and committed that act again. Anna?
Eric, the state tells us that violent offenders don't get released early. Is a sex crime not a violent offense?
That lewd and lascivious acts, that was back in 1992. So since then, he did serve 3 years in prison. So he served his sentence. What he was let out for was just violating his parole.
All right. What about that girl? I know that you spoke with her father. I mean, I can guess how she's doing. Did he tell you the latest on her?
Yeah, he definitely said that he's going to have to get her some spiritual and psychological help. So, yeah, prayers go out to her.
Unbelievable. Thank you, Eric. Tonight, Gabriel Fuentes is still inside the Merced County Jail because he's accused of a sex crime. He's being held without bail and is scheduled to be arraigned next week. The hantavirus kills a third Yosemite Park visitor. This person was from West Virginia. The other two lived in California and Pennsylvania. Around 12,000 Yosemite visitors may have been exposed to hantavirus. So far, 5 other people caught it after staying in the park this summer, but they're recovering. 7 of the 8 cases are linked to the signature tent cabins in Curry Village. Those cabins are now closed for cleaning. Officials in France are testing 2 people there who visited Yosemite and are now sick. Symptoms of the virus include fever, chills, headache, and cough. If you think you were exposed or have questions about the hantavirus, you can call the park's hotline at 209-372-0822. Despite a man guarding the garden with a shotgun, Fresno County deputies raided a large marijuana field today and say the plants are worth millions. Deputies say an acre and a half of pot was growing on rented ag land in southeast Fresno County. Deputies say they found 3 people with medical marijuana cards on this property. Their cards would allow up to 99 plants. Instead, deputies say they pulled up 2,600 plants and say the street value would be around $8 million. Someone did get burned, but thanks to working smoke detectors, 6 families escaped an apartment fire in southeast Fresno overnight. The fire started just before 2 this morning at the Terra apartment.
Host Fowler at 7 o'clock. Monty, Anna?
The Panthers were on the move. They're going to have to go down and score a touchdown and get a 2-point extra.
That's always a good thing.
So ready for football season. Okay, still to come.
Peterson's defense team will also have to get ready for sentencing coming up in late November, where the defendant could find himself facing a maximum sentence of 60 years. In Joliet, Steve Brown, Fox News.
Something so crazy I read today. This guy's son is taking care of his 4 step siblings, the 2 children from his wife that he murdered and the 2 children from the wife that's missing. And so his other son is now caring for these kids.
And after all this time, as you heard, an appeal may be forthcoming from his defense team, so this still may not be over yet.
Off the hand that feeds you. That's what Valley growers say a statewide program is threatening to do. Good evening. I'm Anna Laurel.
And I'm Monty Torres. Thank you for joining us. State water officials say that program to comment.
A 14-year-old Fresno girl who ran off with a middle-aged man is back home with her father tonight, nearly 2 weeks after her mother reported her missing. Fresno police asked the public for help finding the pair, and the tips paid off.
There, Anna.
She was working. She's 14 years old, and she's run away twice before. Is anyone else in any kind of trouble, or just this Garcia man?
Well, her parents think that some people might have known that this Garcia is facing charges.
All right. Thank you, Nicole. Jose Garcia is in jail tonight, facing charges of child stealing, possessing drugs, and contributing to the delinquency of. Well, they don't think a ghost did it, but Clovis firefighters do believe someone intentionally set a well-known haunted house on fire. Firefighters got a call that Wolf Manor was on fire around 2 o'clock this morning. Firefighters say someone intentionally set a fire inside. Their biggest concern when they got there, someone or thing could be inside. Back in the 1940s, the mansion became the Clovis Sanitarium. A KMPH news crew spent the night in the building because of rumors it's haunted. Stories of patient neglect and abuse at the sanitarium are legendary. Even now, ghost hunters pay to check out the place at night. So this morning, with firefighters, we just had to ask.
Any speculation that it may be a ghost?
Inside the structure here, I don't know. I don't know about any of that.
What they do know is someone set it on fire. Someone was seen running from the building at the time. The owner still plans to turn the house into a haunted bed and breakfast. Weeks ago, we brought you the story of pest control companies seeing more bugs and spiders because of a mild winter and now record-breaking summer heat. Now some experts are predicting a record number of tarantulas will be out and about in the foothills and mountains in the next few months. KMPH News reporter Eric Rosales braved the high heat and 8-legged creatures in search of answers.
From now until the end of October, if you're seeking out females to mate. So guys, let's try and leave them alone. Anna?
Okay, so what happens if this thing, I love how the guy in the story says furry and cute or something, but what happens if this thing tries to bite you? Does it bite you or does it sting? What's it do?
They're really docile, but I mean, they will be aggressive, of course, if you try and kill them. So it's equivalent to just like a bee sting. That's what they say. I have never personally been bit by a tarantula.
Yuck.
Check that out, won't you?
Yeah.
Oh, sure, yeah. Little research there.
Oh my gosh. Okay, thanks, Eric. Again, the annual Coarse Gold Tarantula Festival is set to take place the last weekend of October and features tarantula races. That sounds creepy. Along with the hairiest leg contest for both men and women. That's a good one. Events all honoring this 8-legged creature of the region.
So if you feel anything like that, you'll know what it is.
I'm going to have dreams about that now.